Hi there, my name is Jose, and this is the first video of Dad Duties Done Right. So, it's Saturday here in Florida, which means grass cutting day for a lot of people. It's been raining a lot, and if you want to cut your grass correctly and do it right and do it safely, it's always good to do maintenance on your weed whacker, your blower, and then I have my lawnmower back there. Now, all my tools are electric, which require less maintenance, but they still do require maintenance, and it's always something that you want to do to make sure that your equipment is running correctly and it's performing the way you want it to, and obviously keeps you safe. Now, this channel is going to be all about all of this: duties around the house, getting stuff fixed correctly, um, doing maintenance on things, just daily, day-to-day stuff at the house. Now, remember, always important, if you're going to do this, let's pause on that. Okay, so first things first, the blower. Now, the blower doesn't have a lot of moving parts, but as always, make sure to check the inside, making sure there's nothing caught in there in the fan blade that could potentially either break the blades or just completely break it altogether. And also make sure that obviously there's nothing in there that can restrict flow as well. Everything back here seems to be in proper working order. There's a little bit of dust and dirt, but that's just wear and use, you know what I mean? This one specifically has a little latch or a little unlock button to remove this and to look inside the actual unit itself. And if you have this kind of brand, it's going to be usually either right here. Other brands will have it there, or sometimes they'll have it somewhere else. But it's usually in this area here. Now, underneath in here, there's a little latch, a little button that you're going to go ahead and grab, either a long screwdriver or anything that is long and skinny that's able to get in there. I couldn't find my screwdrivers quick enough, so I followed this drill bit, and all you have to do is just stick the drill bit in here, and you're going to see the latch in there. Now, you're going to hear whenever I put it in here, right, there's going to be like a little bit of a click that's going to happen. Now, this click is the latch itself opening up. See here? There you go. And it just comes out completely like this. Now, you can take a look inside the unit, making sure that there is nothing in there that could get stuck. The fan blades are in there. Show y'all here. The fan blades are in there, making sure there's nothing caught in there, nothing obstructing that. And the little latch that I was telling y'all about is right here. It's got a little spring there. So this one's actually pretty good. It's pretty clean inside. There's not a lot of dirt. There's not a lot of dust. To get this thing back together the way it's supposed to go, you're just going to line up this little groove that's right here to the groove that's in the back of this right here. Go ahead and do that. There we go. There you go. And that's in there, and it's ready to go. We're going to go ahead and put this one to the side, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the weed whacker. All right, so for the weed whacker, I always make sure that for this one, it has a little special, this one is not special. A lot of these have these, but this one's pretty ergonomic. I bought this one a while back. It's pretty comfortable. This one has a little spring here, which if you push it forward, you can either go flat like you're cutting grass, like weed whacking, or you flip it over and it actually goes straight where you can do edging on it. So this one's pretty nifty. I don't know if y'all can see there, and I pop it and it goes back in flat. Now, there's a little spring in here that you want to make sure that it is always clear and that there is no dirt or grass or anything getting in there, because it will get stuck and it will be a pain in the butt to take out. Trust me, it's happened to me before. It's not fun. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the inside of the weed whacker itself here. So it's got two little clips here on the side. We're going to make sure that this spring here, which is what pretty much keeps that whole entire wheel that you see there, it pushes it down and make sure that it stays in place. Make sure that it is clean. The spring itself is clean, although around it is actually pretty dirty, and we're going to be cleaning that as well. You always want to make sure that the inside of this is pretty clean. There's no rocks or built up of stuff. That way it functions properly. Now, the bottom of this wheel is a little bit dirty. You always make sure that you want to keep this clean as well, because this is what rotates it properly and make sure that everything works properly in there. Now, as you can see, this one has taken a little beating over time. I've had this for about 3.5 years out, and I use it almost every single weekend. So it's taking a little bit. It's taking a little bit of damage there, but still in good condition. I'm gonna go ahead and be cleaning that as well today. Now, the inside of this is actually a little bit dirty. I don't know if y'all can see that there. And I'm actually going to be cleaning all that up. This right here actually used to have a little brass ring that used to protect it from it get worn down, but over time, overuse, it's actually completely it got completely eaten up, so it got worn down to the nub pretty much. So it's always good to make sure that the inside of this is clean. That way it can last you longer. This Craftsman Weedwhacker and the blower, I got it as a combo deal. I think it was during Christmas. It was like $200 or $180, something like that. It's pretty cheap, but honestly, and it feels cheap, and the inside of this is pretty cheap as well, but if you maintain it, it will last you longer. This should not have lasted me this long till now, but I've maintained it so well to the point to where it's still working, and it's still a pretty good piece of equipment. So I have this little rotary tool here with a little brush. I know a lot of people will use brushes or other toothbrushes. They'll use like maybe like a little towel, or spray something in there and get all that stuff out. You can go ahead and do that. I like to start with this first to soften it up. So I've already attached this in there. It's already on speed 4. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on. There he goes. And I'm just going to go ahead and just brush all the inside of that right there. Just get all the crevices, all the nooks and crannies. Make sure that all of that is out of there. There we go. All of that. There we go. Especially this ring right here, this hole where the line actually comes through. You want to make sure that is clean, so there's no gunk or buildup in there, because that's where the line comes out of, and you don't want to make sure that that is clean, so there's nothing caught, or it will definitely get snagged. There's some teeth here at the bottom that you want to clean as well, because that's where the actual main teeth of the bottom of the wheel sit at, right underneath there. And obviously, just blow it on it a little bit. Make sure that you're getting all that dirt and all that gunk out of there, There we go. Honestly, this little brush cleans it so well that you don't even have to spray anything in here. I do actually like to spray something in here. I like to spray a little bit of lubricant. Any type of lubricant will work, honestly. It does attract a lot more dirt and a lot more stuff in there. But like I said, after I lost that little clip there, the rotation and the action of it hasn't worked properly unless you lubricate it. And if you do not lubricate it, it is not going to properly cycle that line and bring that line out of there for you to use. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Go ahead and look in here. Do one more clean out. There we go. And as you can see now, it is a heck of a lot cleaner in there. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the bottom of that wheel that holds the line. Go ahead and turn this off. And just go all the way around. Make sure all of that is nice and clean in there. There we go. Make sure all of that is all cleaned out. There we go. There we go. Get in there. And get in inside of this one too. There we go. That's pretty clean in there. All right. Now these right here this is the top that goes on top of this right here, and it's actually gotten pretty dirty. So you want to go ahead and remove that, because sometimes it can grind down on the bottom of this right here, and it can actually catch this. So this right here goes on top of this right here. That's how it works, right in there. And then it keeps it down, right, as it rotates. And this part right here hooks onto the outside of this part right here. Now, when it slides in, if there's dirt and stuff in there, it will not slide properly, and there's going to be like a little gap, and it will be pushing out inward like that, and it can catch this, which is not good. All right, I'm going to get my little brush here. Make sure all of that is out of there. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alrighty, that is nice and clean there. There we go. There we go. And I like to clean the outside of it too as well, just to make sure that there's nothing that will rest up against that right there. There we go. Alrighty. Alrighty, now that we got that, go 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, now that we got that clean in there, we're gonna go ahead and put the line through the hole here. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the little wheel inside the little base there. Right in there, okay? Now you wanna line up these little grooves here with the outside of this right here, so that when you put the top of it on there, everything slides in there properly. I'll go ahead and do it like this. Here we go. Right in there. There you go. Nice and clean. Now, like I said, I know a lot of people sometimes don't like to put lubricant in there and just let it function or however like that. But like I said, mine has gone through a lot. So at this point, I do put a little bit of lubricant in there. You can put any type of lubricant you want, your choice. Just stay away from stuff that can be not corrosive, but stuff that can grind down plastic. You want to make sure that it's lubricated properly so that it works properly. And I'm just going to do that off camera. And then now we're going to go ahead and move on to the lawnmower. All right, so this lawnmower here, it's a Cobalt brand lawnmower. I got this one as well about almost the same time that I got the Weedwhacker. Now, this lawnmower is not overly complicated to do maintenance on, but you still got to look at it and make sure that everything's functioning properly. The battery of it goes in here. The connectors for the battery is actually all the way down there, which match these here. Now you want to make sure that this here does not have any dust, that does not have any any dirt or anything like that, because it can get caught in the connectors of this in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this whole thing around here for y'all so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see it in here. Let's see here. Right over here. So the connectors are actually down there. And then you always want to make sure you get some sort of like grease that's compatible with these types of batteries. Something that will make sure that it keeps the good connection and it doesn't let it get dirty or wet, and it repels water. As you can see, there's a lot of grass and dirt that has built up around it, and it's definitely due for a maintenance or a cleaning. So what I usually do with this is I want to make sure that I get everything out of here, all the dirt out of here, and make sure that this internal compartment is clear, because this is the important internal compartment where the battery is kept at. And I want to make sure that everything in there is clean. Alrighty, so for this one, what we're going to do is we're actually going to use our blower that we did maintenance on and cleaned at the beginning of the video. And we're going to go ahead and just blow out the grass that is on the outside of it and make sure that all of that is out of there. That way we can take a look to see if there's any cracks, any corrosion or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead on slow here. Make sure the battery is obviously pushed in. And you usually press a little button here, make sure the battery is good and charged. And I just little short bursts, that way you're not getting everything around you, and don't be afraid to put your finger in there and take all that dirt out, and here as well, and inside of here as well, which is where the battery compartment is. There we go. Alrighty, there we go. And then back here there usually is some grass. There we go. All right, after we've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and look at all the little springs, make sure they all work properly. I take it all the way down to the 1 inch, and take it all the way at 2 and 3. Make sure that it works properly, and take it all the way up. Make sure that it works. There's no chance of it getting caught. There's no potential for corrosion or anything loose. I make sure that I check all these, make sure there's nothing loose, there's nothing broken. The little side part here, make sure that the spring there is working as well. Now this one has the bag that attaches to the back, where you can capture all the grass clippings and all that, which is generally the one that I use. I don't use this one here as much. Every now and then I will for the backyard, but besides that, I always use the one back here. So I always make sure that this back section here, let's see here, that this back section here, turn this over here so you guys can get a good view. These pop out like this. Let's go forward and make sure that this here, the spring is working properly. There's nothing snapped. There's nothing that's eating away at anything here. If you feel like it's squeaking or anything like that, it's always good to add a little bit of lubrication. In this case, this one back here is pretty well. Excuse me. And then we're going to go ahead and look at, actually, there's a little spring here. Little spring on the side here that I always look at. Honestly, over time has gotten a little bit loose. A little spring here that usually actuates, or not actuates, but it helps with the raising and lowering of the lawnmower. And as you can see here, it's a little wobbly. I don't think it's loose. I think it's supposed to be like that. I've messed with these screws before, making sure that they're not getting loosened with time, but this is actually here is pretty well on there. It's not going to come off at all whatsoever. All these little hoses for the electronics that come from here, from the battery to this little control module, I guess you could call it, and then they go all the way up to here to where the little button is for the start. These little clips here. Funny story, I remember one time when I got it for the first time, when I pushed it all the way up like this, right? You actually have to clip both of these down. If not, it will not turn on. It will not function. And since this one wasn't on here properly, so see how it is right here, just barely on? It was like this. It wasn't all the way down like this. So it was like this. And I was like, why does it turn on and it keep turning off? I'm like, did I break it? Did something happen to it? And actually you have to, there's little contacts in here, and you actually have to plop it all the way down and make sure that it's all, secure in there. If not, it will not turn on. So yeah. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and flip it over and look underneath where the blade is. Now this blade, I actually sharpen it every now and then. It's actually pretty dull right now. It needs some sharpening it, but that's going to be for another video, because this one I actually have to go ahead and remove the bolt down here, and I have to take it out, and it's just a lot. So that's going to be for a whole different video. I do like to look to make sure there's no missing screws. There's no like broken or snapped off little, they're not fan blades. They're kind of like the little plastic part that holds the actual metal blade on there, that they're not snapped off or anything like that. That there's no like holes, there's nothing breaking, and it's actually in pretty good condition. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn it over. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and take my battery. Believe it or not, this battery is actually coming due to get a new one, because this battery is starting to fail on me. So I'm going to have to get a new one on that. So I always go ahead and make sure that there's nothing obstructing it. I push down on it. You wait for that click. Hit the little battery button. It needs to be charged, but it's still got good power on it. Push it down. I come here, and then little button here. You have to press this one down first, right? And then it turns on. Now, if you press this one down first and you click on here, it will not start. It's this one here first, then turn it on. Now for the bag as well that I had talked about that goes in the back of the lawnmower there, I always make sure that these plastic clips are on here on the actual frame of the actual bag itself. Making sure that all this is on there, that it's clipped on there. This one I think was supposed to go on here in a different way. I don't know, maybe I have to look into it a little more, but making sure that there's nothing snapped or cracked off, that way it can go back here in the back of this lawn, more over here with no issues. Make sure I put all the hooks in each position, and I push it down like this right here so that it covers it completely. And there you go. She's ready to cut grass. The blower is ready to blow, and the weed whacker is ready to whack some weeds and cut some grass. Alrighty, well that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoy it and watch it. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments section. If you have any sort of tips, if you have any sort of comments, suggestions, or anything like that, please let me know. I always try to listen to what people say and adjust to what I can. This is going to be this is the first video, but there's going to be a lot more of these coming out, whether it be, you know, cutting grass or tips on how to do maintenance on the AC coils on the outside, or cleaning the machine inside. How to properly check for, you know, broken breakers or malfunctioning outlets, whether to be, you know, reorganizing garages and stuff like that. Like I said, this channel is going to be for that. It's going to be for daily day-to-day duties of a dad around the house. I know there's a lot of videos out there that, you know, emphasize, oh, I'm going to do this today, and this is how it's going to be done, like this. Like, no, I'm just a regular guy, you know, just a regular dad, showing you that sometimes when you don't have certain things, you can get by with other things. You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to work it. You don't have to fix it. So y'all take care. We'll see you next time.